Hi everybody, good afternoon, welcome along. Today is Monday the 20th of July 2020. This is our noonday snack, so if you're on catch up and this isn't the one you want, go and find the one you want on our Facebook group and I'll see you later on when you catch up with us. If this is the one you want, then stick around, let us know what you've been up to, let us know how you're doing, let us know how you're feeling. Are you ready for your athletic movement snack? So, I thought BBC's rerunning highlights of the Olympics in 2012. So I thought we'd have a bit of an Olympic theme today. So we've got our triple jump, we've got our discus, and we've got our high jump today. But don't worry, no actual jumping involved. Let us know how you are, let us know how you're doing, how things are with you. It was a beautiful sunny morning here. It's now clouded over in Coventry. So God knows what's going to happen. Hopefully the washing will be dry by the time any rain does appear. So true Bob fashion, I've got to be washing out on the line. Hi Carol, good afternoon to you. Welcome aboard in from Scotland. I was tempted with a bit of a Winter Olympic theme with a bit of curling. But they're not rerunning the highlights of the Winter Olympics at the moment. So we'll see how we go. So an Olympic, bit of an Olympic theme today. But there's no actual jumping involved in it, I promise you. Okay. Trevor, good afternoon to you. Sun and cloud today, but still mowing lawns. Lots of lawns to mow, I believe. Christine, good afternoon to you. Welcome on board. Good to have you in with us. Beautiful day where you are. Good afternoon to Gillian. Good to have you with us as well. Sunny in Port Talbot. Adrian, good afternoon to you. Catching me in between appointments. You're welcome anytime. Wendy, good afternoon to you. Shrewsbury, a tad cloudy. Can't wait for the Olympics. Good day. Shrewsbury must be a bit cold. There's only a couple of O's in Shrewsbury today, Wendy. Hope you're okay. Not too chilly. Maddie, good afternoon to you. Welcome along. Lovely and sunny where you are. May do this on the decking, just outside the kitchen door, as long as you've got some support available to you if you need it. And just make sure it's not slippy at all. Okay. Diane, good afternoon to you. Good to have you in with us. Very intrigued what you've got in store for us. A beautiful day in Somerset. I'm intrigued myself. See how it goes. Good afternoon, Wendy. It's cloudy where you are and you're looking forward to the snack. There we go. Carol, good afternoon to you. Sun has disappeared where you are too as well. There's a few more oohs from Shrewsbury. It's always good to have a few more oohs. Vivian, good afternoon to you. Welcome along. Overcast where you are. It's 12 o'clock. So let's get ready for our 3, 2, 1. If you want to lose the comments off the bottom of the screen, then please feel free to do so. You can swipe them to the right and they will be gone. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Today is Monday, the 20th of July, 2020. This is our noonday snack, our second opportunity to get additional movement minutes into our benefits bag. As always, you can do this in a standing or a seated position. In standing, make sure you've got some fixed external support around you if you want to use it. In a seated position, we're going to sit in an active seated position and we'll go through our posture in just a moment. We've got a bit of an Olympic theme today. As I said to you, anybody who wasn't here for the preamble, then there's no actual jumping involved in it. It's all virtual hop, skips and jumps. So decide whether you're going to do this in a standing or seated position. Let's have a look at our posture and then we'll have a circulation booster. So in our standing position, we have heels in line with knees, knees in line with hips. We grow an extra inch. We lift taller out of our hips, giving ourselves an extra inch between our ribs and our hips. Shoulders come up. We roll them back, shoulder blades together, and press the shoulders down, lengthening through the neck, so keeping a nice long neck. In position, exactly the same with our posture throughout the upper body. In our seated position, though, we're in the front third of the chair. So if we're at the back of the chair, a little hip walks to the front third of the chair to start off with. Knees in line with heels and knees in line with hips. That lift, back and down. Now think of your buttocks as your feet in a seated position. So lift tall out of them. Feel them making contact with the chair, but lift through them as well. So we've got good, strong posture. Let's go into our circulation booster and we'll go straight into a march if we can today. So we're going to lift the feet off the floor, point the toes at the floor and think about your ankle, feet and toes as you work through it. So toes come down first onto the ball of the foot and then rolling through to our heels. Now in a seated position, you can find this quite tiring onto your hips here. So if you want to bring it to a foot pedal, then that is fine as well. Also in a standing position, if you want to go for that, feel free to do so. Let's put an arm movement in and we're going to swing the arm from our shoulder. So we're driving the elbow back, really focusing on this shoulder mobilisation there for me. Brilliant. Feel that motion in your shoulder, feel the mobility within there. Keep breathing, and with our support, every now and again, take a pause, change with as many steps as you need to the other side, and bring your other arm in. So you're bringing both arms in. In your seated position, exactly the same. Switch to the other arm every now and again. Now, if you feel steady and stable in standing, let's bring both arms in. And in our seated position, if we want an alternative to our foot pedals, we have a foot tap in front. And if you want an alternative to your swinging arms for your march, we can come to a canoeing type of movement here. So we're pulling the arms back in towards us, elbows tucked in, so we're really focusing on that shoulder motion. Okay, now our circulation booster is doing exactly what it says on the tin. So it's switching the body on, ready for the activity that we're going to do. We're getting the blood pumping around the body. We're mobilising the joints. We're warming the joints and we're warming the muscles. Because we've got our good strong posture with our shoulders back and down, we've opened this rib cage. So we're getting more oxygen into the body. Utilising your support if you want to. Let's just take it a little bit bigger if we can. So a little bit bigger with those marches if you can. And a little bit of a bigger movement as far as our shoulders are concerned. In our seated position, again, staying with your foot pedal if you prefer, bigger movement there, or with this canoe, try and reach forward a little bit more. So reach forward as far as you can, drive it back in. Remember, you're in the front third of your chair. So a couple of minutes of that, and we should feel as though we want to take a bit deep breath or a couple of deep breaths. We shouldn't feel out of breath with our circulation booster. All right, from there, have a little pause, regain your posture, and let's have a look at our first movement. So our first movement is our triple jump. So from here, I have support available to me. The leg that is closest to my support is going to be my supporting leg. We lift and we come forward onto our heels and onto our toes at the back. Yeah, that's the first part of our triple jump. We come on in, stepping toe heel, and drop down and up. Okay, so from here, step, heel toe onto the toe at the back, step back in, drop and lift. So a little knee bend and then lift up onto your toes with control. Okay, in our seated position, then we have that knee, extension out, toe comes down after the heel makes contact with the floor. We step through, toe heel, bring the foot back in and lift. And there's a little tilt forward, a little hip hinge as we do that. So we bring the knee up, we take the heel down onto the toe comes up at the back, we step back in and we come up onto the toes. Now as we step forward into it, so as we bring that foot in, we hip hinge and then bring yourself back up to a seated position, tall seated position as you lift off. Take a couple of steps back and away you go again on the other side. Think about your foot placement. In our standing position, then do a few on one side, the lift, the step, the through, the knee bend and the raise and the lower. Knee staying soft the whole time. When you've done it a few times on one side, take as many steps as you need to change to the other side and away we go again. So stepping in, lifting through, lift and a lower. Yep. So we're working into our calves. Now, Apart from the fact that we're a bit of a virtual Olympics and it's inspired by the rerun of 2012, some highlights on there. When do we use these sort of movements? Okay, if we're stepping over anything that's in our way, we're going to come across. We've got good balance there because we've got the weight even across both feet. We're not putting any pressure onto the Achilles tendon, onto our calf there. We're stepping back in, a reach, and a lower down. All we're putting is a little bit of a knee bend in there on the end to cushion that movement. So we can equate it to an everyday life movement. Okay, that's our first move. Sorry, just wet the whistle. A dry mouth today. Moving on, our second movement of the day is our discus. So again, with my support here, we're wide stance. Okay, so we've taken our feet about shoulders width. Feet are on the floor, the knees are soft. So we're not locking the knees out, we're keeping the knees soft, but we're not bending them any further. So we're not squatting down. We've just got a soft knee so we can react to movements, yeah? And what we're going to do with this one is we're going to come down and we're going to reach across and up, back into the centre, yeah? So we come down, we reach across and up. So it's a bit like one of our three-dimensional movements, but we've got that range of motion within there. Now, you take this to where you feel comfortable. So if we're here and we can only come to here, that's fine. But we're working through our trunk. Now, as opposed to in the morning when we focus on keeping the hips still and just moving the trunk, we're going to have a bit of a rotation through here. So have a look at the feet. Wide stance, I come down and I come up here. And as I come up, my heel lifts at the back. We then bring it in. As many as you want on one side, and then chop and change across to the other side. Again, take it as many steps as you need to. In our seated position, we've got our stand. We're going to take our feet a little bit wider, feet flat on the floor. We reach down, we come up, and we lift onto the toes on the side opposite to where our hand has gone. Yeah? So it's this movement of coming down and reaching up. And again, in everyday life, we're going to use that. If we're reaching for something when we're sat down or we're stood up, we're reaching, but also we've got that sway, we've got that movement, that change of weight distribution. So from here, I'm even as far as both feet are concerned. As I come across there, my weight is more onto this buttock and I'm lifting on this side as I lift my heel off the floor, but I'm still maintaining contact with it. Same in our standing position with this movement here. So my weight is even, my weight is still even here, even though I've come across in this angle here. It's only at this point when I come up that I do a bit of a shift of weight across to this side. Yeah, and again, work at your own level. So if it's here, that's fine. It doesn't have to be a big, big movement. Okay, so that's our movement number 2, our discus. And think about resistance there. So as you move it, think about how that body feels. How does this arm feel? What's happening with the shoulder because of that rotation through there? What's happening with our trunk? What's happening with our legs? Where is our support and what is moving? Okay, so from here, we've got support on this side with our external support. We come across, we've got movement through our trunk. Our shoulder stays fairly static because we move the body with it. So it's fairly static. The movement is happening because of the body. We've got a little twist of the hips. We've got a little lift of that heel onto the toe. Okay, wide stance with that one. So you've got the big base of support to work from. Final one is our long jump then. And with this one, we're going to start back here. Okay, we're going to lift onto our toes, have our support available to us. We're going to take 1, 2, 3 and drop. Yep. So we've got our lift, our little sprint that would be, line the feet up and drop back down. Yeah, and again, put a little bit of a knee bend in there to give you some absorption as far as that's concerned. So we lift it up, we stand tall, we keep it tall. We're onto the second and the big toe. We're not onto the side of the feet. We take those little steps, line the feet up and drop down. Keep your eye line to the front. Okay, so eye line stays level. Don't look down at your feet. In our seated position, then we've got our 1, 2, 3, feet together and lower. Bring it back in. 1, 2, 3, feet together and lower. And just change which foot you lead with each time. In our standing position, once you've done it a few times on one side, many steps as you need, to change your direction and away you go on the other side. Again, lifting tall, staying tall through the body. 1, 2, 3, feet together, down, and a little bit of support there. So as you drop, as you come down, it's a bit of more of a drop than a gentle release down. So normally we would come really gently out of this. What we're going to do with this is we've got our 1, 2, 3, we've got a little drop and a knee lift there, a knee bend, sorry, there. So it's that actual physical drop and coming up. Okay, again, we could equate this to reaching to get something out of a cupboard, all those sorts of activities, but put a bit more energy into it there as far as that little drop is concerned. So we're adding a little bit extra into it rather than just a normal toe stand. Okay, that does us for our noontime snack today. A bit of a super Saturday as it probably would have been with the Olympics. Think about how you can crowbar some of those activities into the rest of your day. Think about how those movements felt. So when we were twisting, what was moving, what was supporting? When we were up onto our toes, where are the feet? The standing is between your big toe and your second toe is where you want to feel that weight through. So your feet aren't coming out to the side, your knees aren't drifting. It's just a straight up lift. And as you take those walks, they're small, gentle walks in as much as not big steps. So it's not a huge movement. It's not this. It's little controlled steps. And our balance, our support is there. If you want to give it a go without your support, just have your support there so you can reach for it or touch it if you need to. Think about how you can crowbar those activities into the rest of your day. Now, I'm not here tomorrow lunchtime. No, I am here tomorrow lunchtime. It's Wednesday. I'm not here. Forget it. I'm with you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. You've got Bex with you at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and you have the lovely Kelsey with you this morning after her refreshing weekend. Take care, everybody. Look after yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.